Peppa Pig, Peppa's magical creatures. Peppa and George are having a sleepover at Granny and Grandpa Pig's house.
Hooray!
Granny Pig is reading a bedtime story. And the fairy and the unicorn lived happily ever after, says Granny Pig. The end. I wish I was a fairy, Peppa sighs dreamily. Touch Peppa's shiny wings. Granny Pig tucks Peppa and George into bed. The next story is an underwater adventure, she says. We can read it in the morning. I hope it has a mermaid in it, says Peppa, with a beautiful shimmery tail.
Wow!
Touch Mermaid Peppa's shimmery tail. Peppa dreams of being a mermaid. And a friendly narwhal swims up to say hello. Mermaid Peppa giggles. You're a little sea unicorn. Touch the squishy narwhal. George can't get to sleep. He wakes Peppa up. Would you like another story, George? Asks Peppa. Mr. Dinosaur will like this one. Peppa tells George and Mr. Dinosaur a story about a big green dragon. Touch the dragon's bumpy skin. Granny Pig comes back to turn off the light. Night-night, my lovelies, she whispers. What shall we dream of next? Peppa asks sleepily. Unicorns. Touch the soft unicorn. Sweet dreams. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's magical unicorn. One rainy day, Peppa invited Susie Sheep to her house to play. Hello, Susie, cried Peppa when she arrived. Let's play with my horse. Peppa introduced Susie to her toy horse. Susie, meet Horsey Twinkletoes. Horsey Twinkletoes, meet Susie. It's very nice to meet you. Miss Twinkletoes, said Susie politely. Peppa and Susie galloped off to Peppa's bedroom together. Giddy up, Horsey, shouted Peppa, racing around her room on Horsey Twinkletoes while Susie watched. Daddy Pig heard all the noise and came upstairs to see what was going on. We're playing horses, Daddy, cried Peppa. I see, said Daddy Pig, seeing Susie sitting quietly. Do you think perhaps it's Susie's turn, Peppa? Asked Daddy Pig. Yes, replied Peppa. Come on, Susie, you can ride Horsey Twinkletoes now. I don't want to play horses, sighed Susie. I want to play unicorns. Peppa thought for a moment. Well, Horsey Twinkletoes is a magic horse, she said. She can be a unicorn whenever she feels like it. Oh, said Susie. Okay. Susie pranced around the room on Horsey Twinkletoes. Let's brush her beautiful tail, said Peppa. But unicorns have rainbow tails, said Susie. Oh, said Peppa. That's okay. We can put coloured ribbons in it. What a good idea, said Daddy Pig. You do that while I get you both a snack. Now we can fly on the sky on our unicorn, cheered Peppa. But a unicorn has a horn to hold when you fly, said Susie. Horsey Twinkletoes doesn't have a horn. Oh, said Peppa. That's okay. She flies so gently you don't even have to hold on. Peppa and Susie took it in turns to fly around the room. I wish Horsey Twinkletoes was a real unicorn, said Susie. And I wish he was really, really, really sparkly, added Peppa. I think Horsey Twinkletoes is tired, said Daddy Pig. Why don't you build her a den to sleep in? Yay! Cheered Peppa and Susie. While Peppa and Susie were busy building a den in the living room, Daddy Pig gathered some secret supplies for later. Wow, said Daddy Pig, when Peppa and Susie had finished. What a fantastic den. Can we sleep in it tonight, Daddy? Asked Peppa. Please? Of course, said Daddy Pig. If Mammy Sheep says it's okay, you can have a sleepover in the den. Hooray! Hooray! Cheered Peppa and Susie. After dinner, Peppa and Susie got ready for their sleepover. Please, can you read us a bedtime story all about unicorns, Daddy? Asked Peppa. Of course, Daddy Pig replied. When the story was finished, Peppa and Susie snuggled up in their cosy den and fell fast asleep. While Peppa and Susie slept, Daddy Pig picked up Horsey Twinkletoes, tiptoed outside, and quietly set to work painting. And painting some more, then sticking and sticking some more. And then Daddy Pig added the final touch. A horn. Daddy Pig sneaked back to the den to return Horsey Twinkletoes. Ta-da! He whispered. Then he went upstairs and was about to go to sleep when he heard, Wow! Peppa and Susie gasped loudly. They had woken up to find Horsey Twinkletoes had transformed into a magical unicorn. I told you Horsey Twinkletoes was magic, said Peppa. She's perfect, added Susie. The next morning, Peppa, Susie, George, Mammy and Daddy Pig all sat down for breakfast. Peppa told her family what had happened. And when we woke up, Horsey Twinkletoes had turned into a real unicorn, gasped Peppa. It's magic. Said Daddy Pig sleepily. How wonderful, said Mammy Pig. It sounds like you and Susie had the perfect sleepover. Yes, said Peppa, but why does Daddy have paint all over his face? Daddy Pig couldn't answer. He had fallen asleep at the table. After breakfast, Peppa and Susie headed off on a magical adventure with their new unicorn. I love your magical unicorn, cheered Susie. Me too, said Peppa. Everyone loves magical unicorns, especially Daddy Pig. The end. Peppa Pig, Puddle Playtime. Peppa and George have found a puddle. It is very big and very muddy. Hooray! George scoops some mud into his bucket. Says Peppa. I love playing in muddy puddles. Touch the shiny bucket of mud. Mummy Pig has come outside with her umbrella. Time to put on your rain clothes, she says. Peppa and George go to get changed. The rain makes their puddle even bigger. Wow! Touch the shimmery raindrops. Look, says Mummy Pig. Someone else likes jumping in the mud. Peppa gasps. A little green frog has hopped into the garden. Touch the bumpy frog. 3 ducks have waddled up to see Peppa and George. "Do you want to play with us too?" asked Peppa. The ducks jump into the muddy puddle. Touch the fluffy duck. "Hello," snorts Daddy Pig. "I hear there's some puddle jumping going on." "There is," giggles Peppa. "Jump in, Daddy." Peppa loves muddy puddles. Everyone loves muddy puddles. Touch the icky, sticky mud. The end. Peppa Pig and the Muddy Puddles. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig are tucking Peppa and George into bed. "There's so much rain," Peppa says. "That means there will be muddy puddles to jump in tomorrow," Mummy Pig says with a smile. The splish, splash, splosh of raindrops on the window sings Peppa and George to sleep. They dream of muddy puddles. It rains and rains and rains. The next morning, the sun is shining. Daddy Pig runs out to jump in a muddy puddle, but he lands in a big pool of water instead. "Oh, how did this water get here?" Daddy Pig asks. "And where are the muddy puddles?" asked Peppa. "Our house is on an island," says Peppa. "Oh dear," says Mummy Pig. "What will we do?" Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig arrive on their boat. "Ahoy there," Grandpa Pig says. "Wonderful boating weather." "We're going to the store," says Granny Pig. "Can George and I come too?" asked Peppa. "Yes, we'll do the shopping for everybody. Polly can remember our shopping list. She's very good at that," Granny Pig says.
Wow!
"Who's a clever parrot?" "Ah, who's a clever parrot?" says Polly. Polly is very good at repeating what people say. Peppa, George, Grandpa Pig, Granny Pig and Polly motor across the water. It's fun, but there are no muddy puddles. Each house is on an island. They go from house to house, asking everyone what they need from the store. Susie Sheep asks for chocolate. "Ah, chocolate," Polly repeats. Grandad Dog needs a newspaper and Danny wants a comic book. "Newspaper, comic book," Polly repeats. Grampy Rabbit wants cheese. "Cheese," Polly repeats. Grandpa Pig's boat arrives at the supermarket. "Hello," says Miss Rabbit. "What can I get you?" "Polly knows," Peppa says proudly. Polly opens her beak. "Who's a clever parrot? Who's a clever parrot?" she says. Polly has forgotten the list. "Don't worry," says Peppa. "I remember." So they got what's needed and go back to deliver everything. "Cheese," says Grampy Rabbit. "Thank you." "A newspaper and comic book," says Grandad Dog and Danny Dog. "Thank you." "Chocolate," says Susie Sheep. "Thank you." "Chocolate for dinner?" asks Mummy Sheep. Peppa and George are very sleepy when they arrive back home. "Did you have fun?" asks Mummy Pig. "Yes," says Peppa. "We got lots of things at the store. We got something for everyone." But Peppa is sad. she didn't get what she wanted. There were no muddy puddles at all. The next morning, the sun is shining brightly in the clear blue sky. Polly Parrot comes to visit. Grandpa Pig's boat is stuck on Peppa's front lawn. Oh, Granny Pig says, looking out from the boat. The flood is over. The houses that were on islands yesterday are now back to normal, sitting on top of their hills.
Hooray!
The water that Peppa and George boated in is gone.
Wow!
And at the bottom of their very own hill, they see a great big muddy puddle. Big enough for everyone. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's Muddy Puddle Walk. Peppa and George are visiting Granny and Grandpa Pig. It's Muddy Puddle Walk Day, says Peppa. What's that? Asks Granny Pig. It's a sponsored walk with playgroup, says Peppa. We're going to jump in muddy puddles all the way. Splat! Shouts George. The walk is to raise money to help people, explains Peppa, and to get really, really muddy. I love getting muddy, says Grandpa Pig. Can Granny Pig and I come along too? Yes, says Peppa. Madame Gazelle says that having lots of people will make the walk even more fun. Shall I bring this giant chocolate cake I made? Asked Granny Pig. We can sell it at the walk. Yes, please, says Peppa. Miss Rabbit has a cake stall.
Hooray!
Oh, sighs Grandpa Pig. I was rather hoping I could have a slice. But Grandpa, says Peppa, it will help us to raise money. As everyone puts on their boots and gets ready for the walk, Peppa sings a song. Who loves muddy puddles? We do, we do. Who loves muddy puddles? We do, we do. Daddy and Mummy, me and George, we're all going on a muddy puddle walk. Have you got your boots on? We do, we do. Have you got your boots on? We do, we do. Granny and Grandpa, me and George, we're all going on a muddy puddle walk. When they arrive, Granny Pig takes her cake to Miss Rabbit's cake stall. Then Madame Gazelle asks everyone to head to the starting line.
Wow!
Now, says Madame Gazelle, has everybody got their boots on? Yes, everyone cheers. Okay, ready, steady, go, calls Madame Gazelle. Grandpa Pig reaches a very deep, muddy puddle. Jump in it, Grandpa, cries Peppa. Okay, says Grandpa Pig. He jumps straight into the very deep muddled puddle. Everyone gets very muddy, jumping in all the muddy puddles. At the end of the walk, Peppa and her family each get a sticker and a certificate. Fantastic news, everyone, says Madame Gazelle. We've raised lots of money. Hooray! Everyone cheers. Granny, says Peppa, where's Grandpa gone? I don't know, Peppa, says Granny Pig. Grandpa Pig arrives, carrying Granny Pig's chocolate cake. All that jumping made me a bit peckish, he says. So I bought this. Anyone for a slice? Everyone laughs. Peppa loves Muddy Puddle Walk Day. Everyone loves Muddy Puddle Walk Day. The end. Peppa Pig, Nature Trail. Peppa and her family are going on a nature trail. Mammy Pig asked Daddy Pig not to forget the picnic. As if I would, laughs Daddy Pig. They head off along the trail with their map. Oh dear, Daddy Pig has left the picnic in the car. Mammy and Daddy Pig ask Peppa if she can see anything interesting in the forest. I don't see anything but boring trees, says Peppa. Then she looks really hard and finds some footprints on the ground. Let's follow the footprints and see who made them, says Mammy Pig. We will have to be very quiet so we don't scare anything away. Shh. Peppa and George follow the footprints along the ground. It looks like they were made by a little bird, says Mammy Pig. Soon they come to the end of the footprints. The bird has flown up into that tree, smiles Daddy Pig. Where? asks Peppa. Daddy Pig gives Peppa binoculars to help her see the bird. The binoculars make everything look bigger. Peppa can see 1, 2, 3 baby birds. They're eating worms, said Peppa. That's disgusting. George finds some more footprints. They are very little. Daddy Pig says they belong to ants collecting leaves to eat. I think it's time for lunch, says Mammy Pig. But Daddy Pig has left the picnic in the car. My map is wrong, begins Daddy Pig. We'll have to follow our own footprints back to the car. Suddenly it starts to rain. It washes everyone's footprints away. How are we going to find the car now? asks Mammy Pig. Ducks love picnics, says Peppa. Mrs. Duck, can you help us find our picnic, please? The ducks lead Peppa and her family back to the car. We're here. Thank you for your help, Mrs. Duck, cries Peppa. I love picnics, laughs Daddy Pig. The ducks love picnics too. Wah, wah. So do the birds. And so do the ants. Munch, munch. Everybody loves picnics, cries Peppa. The end. Peppa goes around the world. It was almost the start of the summer holidays. Peppa was playing in the garden with her friends. What are you doing over the holidays? asked Wendy Wolf. I'm going to the park, replied Peppa. Peppa was very excited. She was going to spend the holidays jumping in lots of muddy puddles. Peppa's friends were going on holiday all around the world. I'm going to the jungle, said Pedro Pony. We're going to the desert, said Emily and Edmund Elephant. And I'm going to the mountains, barked Danny Dog. What about you, Susie? asked Peppa. I'm off to the South Pole to play with the penguins, Susie Sheep grinned. On the first day of the holidays, Peppa and George climbed into the car. "Time to go to the park," said Mummy Pig. "Let's go," cheered Daddy Pig. The little car chugged along the road. The engine went chugga chugga chugga, bang clank bonk. "Oh dear," groaned Daddy Pig. "The car has broken down." Mummy Pig called for help. "Please come quick," she said. "This is an emergency." "Look," gasped Peppa. "Here comes Miss Rabbit's emergency breakdown service." "That was quick," said Mummy Pig. Miss Rabbit said it would take her all day to put things right. "But we want to go to the park," cried Peppa. "Don't worry," replied Miss Rabbit. "While I fix your car, you can borrow my aeroplane." "Airplane," George shouted. Everybody climbed into Miss Rabbit's aeroplane. Mummy Pig took the controls. "This is fun," she said. "Are we supposed to be flying upside down?" wondered Daddy Pig. "The ground is in the sky and the sky is on the ground," giggled Peppa. Meow. It didn't take long for Mummy Pig to get the hang of the airplane flying. "Next stop, the park," said Daddy Pig. "To jump in muddy puddles," cried Peppa. Daddy Pig opened out his map. "Are we lost as usual?" asked Peppa. "We are not lost," snorted Daddy Pig. "I can see some trees. That must be the park." "Where are the swings and roundabouts?" asked Peppa. Said Daddy Pig. "This looks more like a jungle than a park." Peppa gasped. Pedro was on holiday in the jungle. Mummy Pig pulled the handbrake and the plane fell through the trees, landing on the ground with a bump. Here was Pedro. "Hello, Pedro," called Peppa. "Are you having a nice holiday?" Pedro nodded. "It's brilliant. There are parrots and monkeys and everything." The jungle was fun, but there were no muddy puddles to jump in. "Can we visit my other friend on their holidays around the world?" asked Peppa. "I don't see why not," said Mummy Pig. It was Daddy Pig's turn to fly the aeroplane. "Where next?" he said. "The mountains," said Peppa. "That's where Danny Dog is." Danny Dog was enjoying his mountain holiday. "The best bit about climbing a mountain is that you're all alone," explained Captain Dog. "There's no one else around." Daddy Pig landed the aeroplane at the top of the mountain, right in front of Danny and Captain Dog. "Hello, Danny," shouted Peppa. "We're flying around the world to see my friends. This mountain is very high." Peppa and her family said goodbye to Danny and Captain Dog and flew away again. Soon, Daddy Pig spotted lots of yellow sand in the distance. "It must be the desert," he said. "That's where Emily and Edmund are on holiday," cried Peppa. It wasn't easy to land an aeroplane in the desert. We've sunk into the ground, said Mummy Pig. Why do they have to fill the desert with so much sand? Cried Daddy Pig. Hello, Emily, shouted Peppa. Hello, Edmund. We've been studying a rare lizard, whispered Edmund. But it must be shy because it's run away. It had a scaly back and a long red tongue, added Emily. Yuck, said Mummy Pig. Lucky it ran off then. The lizard suddenly appeared on a rock. There it is, shouted Daddy Pig, frightening it away again. Did you say you had other people to visit? Sighed Dr. Elephant. Yes, said Peppa. We still got to go and see Susie at the South Pole. Goodbye, everybody. Susie was having a great holiday, but she did miss Peppa. I wish Peppa was here, Susie sighed. Peppa's aeroplane landed on the snow and ice. Peppa! cried Susie. Susie! cried Peppa. Peppa and Susie were best friends. They were very pleased to see each other again. Peppa had lots of fun with Susie and the penguins. But they couldn't play all day. Peppa still had to go to the park. Miss Rabbit should have fixed our car by now, said Mummy Pig. The aeroplane flew all the way back around the world. Hello, Miss Rabbit, said Peppa. We've flown all around the world. Good thing I remembered to fill the airplane's tank up with petrol this morning, said Miss Rabbit. Your little car is working again, said Miss Rabbit.
Hooray!
Peppa and George climbed inside. Flying around the world was nice, decided Peppa, but something was missing. A muddy puddle! Peppa and George loved jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Everyone loves jumping up and down in muddy puddles. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa visits the Great Barrier Reef. Peppa is on holiday in Australia, visiting her friend Kylie Kangaroo.
Wow!
I love it at your house, Kylie, says Peppa. I could stay here forever, decides Daddy Pig. It's great having you stay, says Mrs. Kangaroo, but I have to go to work today. Mrs. Kangaroo is a marine biologist. She studies creatures that live in the sea. Do creatures in the sea have bridges to swim through and treasure to play with? Wonders Peppa. No, snorts Daddy Pig. That's just the stuff that people put in fish tanks. Mrs. Kangaroo takes everyone down to the beach. She points to the sea. This, she says, is my office. How can you work in the sea? Asks Peppa. With this submarine, says Mrs. Kangaroo. Hop in. The submarine goes down deep under the water. Peppa gasps. It's all the colours of the rainbow. That is coral, says Mrs. Kangaroo. It's made of lots and lots of tiny creatures. We call it the Great Barrier Reef.
Wow!
The coral is very pretty. Peppa would like to take some home. We must never ever take anything away from here, says Miss Kangaroo. The reef is home to lots of sea creatures, explains Kylie. Look! Giant Turtle swims up to say hello. There's a little bridge, says Peppa. Just like in the fish tank. Except there's no treasure chest, of course, chuckles Daddy Pig. George spots something in the sand. Mrs. Kangaroo blinks. It's a chest full of gold coins. George has found a treasure chest.
Hooray!
The submarine carefully picks it up. Wait, cries Peppa. We must never ever take anything away from the reef. Only natural things, says Miss Kangaroo. These gold coins don't belong here. Mr. Kangaroo loads the treasure chest onto the camper van. These gold coins will pay for lots more marine research, says Kylie.
Hooray!
Mrs. Kangaroo smiles. That was a good day at the office. Yes, snorts Peppa. It was. The end. Peppa Pig, New Shoes. Peppa and George have been playing in the garden. Now it is time to come inside. Peppa, says Daddy Pig, where are your shoes? Oh no, gasped Peppa. I've lost them. Peppa runs back out to the garden. She can't find her shoes anywhere. They really are lost, she cries. Don't worry, Peppa, snorts Daddy Pig. Your shoes were getting a bit old. We'll buy you a new pair, says Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig and Peppa go to Miss Rabbit's shoe shop. Mummy, asks Peppa, can my new shoes be red? Of course they can, replies Mummy Pig. Hello, says Mummy Pig. We would like to buy some new shoes for Peppa. Red ones, shouts Peppa, please. Miss Rabbit nods, then lifts down a box from the shelf. Miss Rabbit opens the box. Here we are, she says. Red ones. Peppa tries the shoes on. They feel just right. New red shoes, she giggles. As soon as Peppa gets home, she rushes into the living room. Daddy, Daddy, she shouts, look at my new shoes, they are red. I say, says Daddy Pig, they are very smart. Do you like my new shoes? Peppa asked George. George likes Peppa's new shoes. Everyone likes Peppa's new shoes. Peppa likes to wear her shoes so much she doesn't want to take them off, ever. She even wants to wear them in the bath. Peppa giggles as she plays in the bubbles. Peppa and George get into their pyjamas. They start to brush their teeth. Are you sure you don't want to take your shoes off now? Says Mummy Pig. No, thank you, says Peppa. I'm even going to wear them in bed. In the morning, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig and George put on their boots. They want to jump in muddy puddles. Peppa frowns. Oh. She is still wearing her new red shoes. Peppa runs inside and comes back out wearing her boots. Now she can have fun without getting mud on her new red shoes. If you want to jump in muddy puddles, she says, you must wear your boots. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa plays football. It is a sunny day and Peppa Pig and Susie Sheep are playing tennis. To you, Susie! Cheers Peppa, hitting the ball. Now it is Susie's turn. To you, Peppa! She cries, hitting the ball. Straight over Peppa's head. Oh dear! George feels a bit left out. Sorry, George, says Peppa. You can't play tennis. We only have 2 rackets. George can be the ball boy, cheers Susie. Being a ball boy is a very important job, George, says Peppa. Peppa and Susie are having lots of fun, but they keep missing the ball. Ball boy, they shout together. George is not having fun. He keeps running to get the ball, and he is very tired. Hello everyone, cries Peppa when her friends arrive. We're playing tennis. Can we play too? asks Danny Dog. There aren't enough rackets, replies Susie Sheep. Let's play football then, says Danny Dog. Football, hooray! Everyone cheers. We can play girls against boys, says Peppa. Each team needs a goalkeeper, says Danny Dog. Me, shouts Pedro Pony. Me, cries Rebecca Rabbit. Pedro Pony and Rebecca Rabbit decide to be the goalkeepers. The boys' team will start, says Danny Dog. Richard Rabbit gets the ball and runs very fast right by Peppa, Susie Sheep and Candy Cat and straight up to the... Goal! Cry Danny and Pedro together as Richard Rabbit kicks the ball straight past Rebecca Rabbit and into the net. The boy is a winner! Cheers Danny Dog. That's not fair, we weren't ready, moans Peppa. Rebecca Rabbit picks up the ball and runs. Hey! Shouts Danny Dog. That's cheating, you can't hold the ball. Yes I can, says Rebecca. I'm the goalkeeper. Rebecca throws the ball into the goal, straight past Pedro Pony. Goal! She cries. That goal is not allowed, says Pedro. Yes it is, says Peppa. No it isn't, barks Danny Dog. What a lot of noise, snorts Daddy Pig. I'll be the referee. The next team to get a goal will win the game. Richard Rabbit and George run off with the football while everyone is still talking. Where's the ball? asks Peppa. But it's too late. Richard Rabbit kicks the ball straight into the goal past Pedro Pony. Hooray! The boys win! says Danny. Football is a silly game, cries Peppa, disappointed. Just a moment, says Daddy Pig. The boys scored in their own goal. That means the girls win. Really? Gasps all the girls. Hooray! Football is a great game, cheers Peppa. Everyone laughs. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.